Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another week with Life with Latoya, another discussion. Thanks to everyone that has been continuously following Life with Latoya, watching the shows, being supportive, subscribing. For you that are tuning in for the very first time, welcome aboard. Thank you. We have literally been talking about the keys to life. This is our ninth week. And the key that we will be talking about today is environment. Um, Moving out your environment or protecting and the importance of our environment. So last week we talked about moving out of your comfort zone, and I think moving out of your comfort zone also can be paired up with your environment. Sometimes that's a literal move, sometimes that's just a mental, physical character change, mindset change of moving out of your comfort zone, as well as your environment. Your environment is everything to you. I feel like our environment plays a big part in our life. It can impact. And one of the earlier keys, the very first key, we talked about knowing who you are, and we talked about how you had to get to the root of who you are from past traumas and things that you've been. I also think our environment has had a big impact on who we are, and how we've developed. Growing up as a little girl, it was important. I didn't know how important and how impactful our environment could be to our mind, to our development, to all of those things. So I feel like live in fulfillment every day. Your environment matters. It matters where you are, where you're located, what is in that environment, how healthy your environment is important as you move out of your comfort zone, that you make sure that your environment is conducive to and supportive to who you are, for your mind, for the healthiness of becoming a better you. It's important. I shared last week about moving out of my comfort zone and how I had to leave Washington, and I left Washington and I now reside in Texas, and my environment was important. I really didn't even realize how important it was. So the environment that I was in Washington was a great environment, but for the next level to where I needed to go, where God has taken me, that environment no longer could develop, or I could not get to the place that I needed to be. God needed to shift my environment, and He had to place me in an environment where He actually enlarged my territory. Um, so I think your environment is important. Where I was at that time, there was just certain things, the people, the environment, I think how far you can go in that environment. I feel like Washington had brought me as far as it could. So for the next um, level of growth that I needed to, where God needed to get me to, He literally had to shift my environment. And like I said, sometimes that's not literal for everyone. Everyone can't go around just saying, you know what, I'm done with this. Let me go to a new environment. Let me move places, move states. Sometimes it's very necessary. Sometimes it's you needing to, it matters what your environment is. Is it healthy? Who are you allowing in your environment? What is going on in your environment? Does your environment support you to be able to give birth? And I use that a lot because as we're growing and we're developing, we're in our gifts and our talents and our purposes coming to fruition. It matters, even when you're giving birth in a natural birth, right? And I'm talking from a spiritual aspect of giving birth to the things of life. Your career, your purpose, your whatever that is for you. But even in a natural birth, with a natural birth, environment is everything. You don't want to lay down and push out, and give birth in any type of environment. So your environment matters, and it matters majorly. I know for me, just even in my home environment, that's my peace. It's my serenity. Every day I go out in the world, I'm dealing with different people, going through having different outside challenges. When I get home, that is my safe haven. That is my serenity. That is where I can, you know, detox and lay things down and think. And when it's time for me to develop and grow, and it's time for me to bring forth something new in my life, my environment matters for that. All of that matters. So we've been talking about living in fulfillment every day, and each key, I believe, supports environment, because your environment can affect your mind. Your environment can affect whether you are wanting to be committed to something. Depending on if your environment is laxed, if it's not healthy, if it's not, it might not give you the inspiration or the motivation to develop. It also is key to moving in your purpose, fulfilling your purpose. We talked about vision boards. We talked about, placing things around you that speaks life. That's in your environment. Um, Even the first key, knowing who you are, your environment helps you develop that you, to develop you. Um, and it's important. Not only is it important for developing, not only is it important to give, to bring forth the things that, God is doing in you, it's also important so that you can hear. You want to be in an environment where you can hear. You can hear, what am I supposed to be doing? If your environment is full of chaos and people and things that is not beneficial for you to get to where you need to be, then I would reevaluate my environment. And sometimes, like I said, that needs to be literal. And you definitely don't want to, if moving out of your comfort zone is shifting you into a new environment, whether that's a location, a state, a different place to live, because maybe you have plateaued and you have reached the capacity of where that place could be. Don't be fearful. Move out of your environment, or bring your environment to a place that supports and benefits your purpose, your development, your mindset, you know. And that's another reason why letting people go was important too. Because if you have toxic people that are in your environment, that's around you, surrounding you, you're not going to be able to get to it. Can hinder and delay you from getting to where you need to be, because your environment is polluted. So environment is important. My environment is everything to me. I appreciate being in a new environment where I'm able to be in the unknown. Like I said, Texas is the unknown for me, but I have been able to hear clear. I've been able to see clear, and I have not had the distractions or the comfortability of old places that would delay or hinder me from being able to develop to this next level. And I'm grateful for it. So I say to you, environment is everything. What is the condition of your environment? Is it time for you to make an environment change? But I tell you this, it's bigger than just, oh, I need to move. I've met so many people, even myself. I used to have the mindset of, if I just get this new, we talked about that we were talking about, being committed and moving out of your comfort zone, and how it's not always in the relocating, because if you don't change, if your mindset hasn't changed, if your character hasn't changed, if you're going to go wherever environment you're in. So it's bigger than just moving your environment, but it's important that we understand the importance of our environment and how our environment should support us for our development. It should give life, just like our mind, just like our purpose, just like every other key we've talked about. Everything matters to living in fulfillment every day. Not just the internal, but your external also matters. So your environment is everything. So again, what kind of shape is your environment in? And is your environment a place where you can produce? Is it a place where you can see clear, hear clear, develop, you know? And so, and if it's not, I feel that you should do the necessary work that you need to help your environment become better. And I feel like if you follow the keys, every key is going to lead you to having a great environment, because knowing who you are matters. You're not going to just let anyone in your environment, and your environment is going to matter for who you are, your purpose and your vision. You know that when you are developing or you're learning or you are walking in your purpose and vision, it matters where that is. How are you going to get to your ultimate where if where you are is not conducive to your why? You know, your mindset, your commitment. You know, a lot of times when you're not happy with your environment, you're like, you know what, I'm just not interested. I give up. I quit. You know, everything around me is chaotic. So your environment is everything. And I'm going to say to you, let's do what we need to do to have great environments. Who we allow in our environments. What time are we spending in our environment? What are we doing with our time? When you're at home, when you're at work, and your environment is anywhere you reside, whether that is your natural home, whether that is your spiritual home, whether that is your workplace, wherever it is important that everything is healthy and that it is wholesome for the development of you, of becoming a greater you, a better you. So environment is everything. Um, and not being afraid to move out of an environment, you know, moving out of our comfort zone. If it's time to shift gears and change and relocate, whether that is, you know, through your job, education, your career, that environment matters. And so environment is everything. And I can go deeper and deeper into environment, but just going into this key, I really just want to bring home the importance of our environment. Um, is our environment giving life? Is it, you know, when you go in your environment, is it depressing? Is it down? Is it, you know, what is your environment? What do you need? How do you need your environment to be to help you live life, to help you live in fulfillment every day, to help you develop and grow and mature and to walk into the promises of God? So your environment is everything. But I hope that you all understand the importance of our environment and that we do the necessary work of letting people go if we need to, relocating and moving out of our comfort zone if we need to, um, doing the insight work in ourselves so that our environment, um, we can produce in our environment so that we can live. Sometimes we're already in a great environment, but we're messed up inside and spiritually, mentally, emotionally. We're messed up that we don't even get the benefits of the purpose of our environment, even if that's just a season. So you evaluate that place. Does my environment give life? Um, is the people that I allow in my environment, are they healthy? Are they an asset to my environment, or are they a takeaway? Um, and only you know that. Only you can decipher and decide that. But it's important. And great things happen and develop us and come out of us and come forth when our environment also supports every other key. So, thank you guys for tuning in today. I appreciate every last one of you. Please subscribe to this channel, and I look forward to having further discussions with you. Until next time, be blessed.